What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another vlog. I hope you guys liked the last one. It's been a little time between when I filmed that and when I am filming this, just because there's been a bunch of stuff going on. So I did miss Week Fest. I was there in person, but I didn't bring the car. The car's been having a lot of issues. I attended one show a couple of weeks ago with it because it was literally like walking distance from my house, so I was able to bring the car out. I ended up picking up another motor. So I'm going to be putting a stock Mini Cooper S motor back into my Mini and pulling out my tune motor and pulling everything apart, figuring out what's going on, and then slowly rebuilding it. But in the meantime, I need to be able to go to shows and drive the car around. So I'm going to be putting a stock motor in and leave the boost where it is. I may throw the aftermarket intercooler on it to make it, look a little bit better, but that's pretty much going to be it. So in this vlog, I'm going to be attempting a motor swap. I have 3 days roughly to do the full swap. So pulling this one out and putting the other one in, getting everything running. I really want to be able to smog the car before I have a show coming up. So I've got a show on Saturday. Today is Tuesday. And I want to have everything done by Friday, like buttoned up. I want to try and get the car smogged. If I can drive it around and smog it, that'd be great. If not, I have Spocom on Saturday. I need to get this done, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna do the best I can. If I can't get this one done for Spocom, I'll clean the pink car up and take the pink car to Spocom. So at least I'll have a Mini there. If not, I'll roll with my friends. I really just want to hang out with them. So I'm gonna attempt to swap the motor on this Mini without trying to stress about it too much, which is all the reason I haven't been filming recently. I've been dealing with a bunch of other stuff and work and life and whatnot, so haven't been really spending time with the camera and anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I still gotta move the car over, but I'm gonna go ahead and fix one of the lifts that I've been having an issue with, and then move the car over, throw it up on the lift, and slowly start taking everything apart. So follow along. Alright guys, what's up? I am back from doing everything I had to do. I fixed the lift, and we ended up getting the car on the lift. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the skid plate now, and then slowly start disassembling the top end, while I'm draining the oil and everything else out. So trying to kill birds with one, multiple birds with one stone. While I'm letting the oil drain, I'll start pulling the front end off, get the strut braces off, get everything out of the way, and hopefully start getting most of the motor disconnected tonight. So I think this might be part of my problem, guys. Just draining the oil, and it's kind of looking like my vanilla iced coffee. So I'm gonna assume that's a lot of the problem right there. You really can't see it in the container, but you can definitely tell it is not oil colored. So I want to say that is a lot of my problem right there. I'm just kind of letting it all drain out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start moving the stuff from the top and the bumpers and stuff like that. I just wanted you guys to see what I saw when it came out. Well, while I let it drain, I gotta go ahead and pull the strut brace off, pull the intake out. Might disconnect some of the stuff off of this. And then of course, I'm gonna pull it past front end service mode. I'm just gonna rip the whole front end apart, pull the radiator out, everything else, AC, kind of pull the fender line, pull the fender lines off, pull the front wheels off. I gotta get, that way I can just pull the motor straight out, and the transmission. So I'm gonna drain the transmission shortly, kind of get everything prepped so I can pull it out, and then hopefully get the new one that's sitting over there in. So we'll see what we can do tonight, and not all day tomorrow. Alright guys, so I got the front wheels off, I got the fender liners off, I've got the AC condenser piece out of the way, I've got pretty much all the whole front supports off, fender liners both sides. Got the strut brace off, got most of the intake off, just gotta remove these last couple pieces for the box. Gotta remove the ECU, disconnect the fuse panel, to get all this wiring out of the way, disconnect as much as I can, and that'll allow me to move it out of the way, kind of clear up this side. And then on this side, really there's just the grounding strap and then the motor mounts. So there's not much on this side besides all of this stuff, which I've got like a bad axle and stuff that I've got to clean out. And I've already got the new one on in the house, so I've got that to deal with. But it's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm trying to disconnect one of the radiator lines and I'm having a little bit of trouble with it, but I'll drain it into the box, or into the bucket, and then get that into a bin and get it taken to the recycler. So slowly making progress. Unfortunately, I did lose a day yesterday because I wasn't really in the mood to work on the car, so I'm trying to do better today and get as much done as I can. I've got today and tomorrow to finish it to be at the show on Saturday, so I'm gonna try to make as much progress as I can. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much certain everything looks the same. I was able to get the one coolant line disconnected from the top piece, gouged the piece a little bit, but these have a little bit tighter fitting on the Mission Moto radiator. And I'm having trouble, you really can't see it on this one, but through here there's another fitting, and I'm just having kind of trouble. I got a screwdriver shoved up into it. I'm having a little bit of trouble just getting the coolant line off. I've already got some of the coolant out, and looks like it was probably mostly water at this point, but I got some of it out, and I just gotta, I'm gonna go ahead and take a lunch break and come back and try to remove the line and get the rest of the front end off. So it's going a little slower than I wanted it to, but we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, proud to say I did get the front end off. So I got the radiator, it's still got some coolant in it, but the coolant checks out to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I left it bolted to the core support, so it's kind of a little bit difficult to deal with. Got the air box out. So I've got the fuse panel all disconnected from the power cables. I've got pretty much the whole airbox system out, which all goes right here. Allows a whole lot more freedom to the front end. I've already got this axle bolt disconnected. I'm attempting to get this one off on the passenger side. I'm just waiting for a some thread break loose to sink in, and then I'm gonna hit it with the air gun when I get back. Till then, I'm pretty much got a lot of it done. Coolant's in the bucket. I gotta drain the oil into a container, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drain the transmission fluid from the bottom. So get that. I didn't realize how dirty this thing was, crusted up. Looks like we probably got some leaks on the oil pan and whatnot, so gotta figure that out when I pull all this apart. But gotta clean that up a little bit, get everything pulled apart, get the motor out, and call it a day. So get as much done as I can tonight. Hopefully a couple of guys will come over tomorrow, and we'll get this other motor in the garage. We'll get the other motor in the car, and I'll be able to make the smoke come on time. Here's where I'm at. Car's pretty much all taken apart. However, I'm having an issue with the drain plug for the transmission, and I don't want to strip it out. So I'm kind of going to leave it alone. I'm going to have to pull the transmission apart from the motor without draining the fluids. So it's going to leak a little bit when I pull the axles out. However, I'm not mentally into working on the car tonight. I'm just been having a block and an issue. I keep trying to push through it and work on it. It's just not happening. And I can feel it affecting my mood, and I just don't want to do that to myself. So I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for tonight. Unfortunately, that does mean I'm not going to reach my goal of getting the motor out tonight, which means I'm probably not going to spend the time getting the motor in. I'm probably not going to get the motor in tomorrow to make it to the show on Saturday in the green one. That does mean I will probably be playing as like a spectator in the pink one. Trying to get in early with the rest of my crew, ride in with them. It's free passengers. I'll probably just ride up, park, and not really worry about it, or see if I can hook a ride with somebody, meet at their place, and then hook up a ride. That way I don't have to worry about leaving my car somewhere that I don't really want to leave it. Which is the other reason I would probably bring the pink car and not the truck, because then I really just don't have to worry about it as much. The bad thing is, if something does happen to the pink car, I'm kind of covered for. I have to, I'm kind of responsible for all of it, because it's only got like liability insurance, where everything else is fully covered. But I don't want to mentally mess myself up in order to try and get the motor done. So again, I'm gonna call it a break for tonight and try to get caught up in the morning. If I feel better in a couple of hours, maybe I'll come back and try to work on it some more. But I'm kind of at a break of, I'm kind of at a crossroads of what I have to do next as well in the build, or in the disassembly, in order to get everything running smoothly, because it's been a little while since I've pulled the motor out of it, since I had to do a motor swap. It's probably been about a year or 2 years, probably about 2 years now since I did the last motor swap. And that one I had to pull apart and swap a bunch of parts over. This one, it's a little bit more straightforward. It's pulling the motor out, solving a couple things over, and then putting the motor back in, and then hoping the other motor is good. But up to this point, I'm just, yeah, not mentally into it, so I'm not going to strain myself and push through and try to finish it tonight, which, you know, it sucks I'm going to miss another show, but I'm still going to go and support my team, and I'm, you know, maybe shows aren't for this car. So we're going to see what we can do. I'm going to try and take a small break and see if that helps at all, and I may come back in a little bit. So I'll catch up with you guys when I do come back. Alright guys, so I did take a break last night. Just wasn't feeling like working on the car. Unfortunately, that did set me back. I was supposed to be working on the car all week. Didn't really start until Wednesday, and then even then, Wednesday I really didn't work on it too much. So I really only worked on a few hours yesterday. Hour-wise, I'm only a few hours into it. Mentality-wise, I'm just not there. And unfortunately, it has put me back unless I were to pull an all-nighter tonight and had a bunch of buddies come over. The car is just not going to get finished. I just don't have the passion for working on it right now that I thought I would and that I used to. So I'm more just trying to get the car running, and I'd rather do it correctly than rush everything for the show like I have in the past. So unfortunately, I'm going to be a little bit behind, and it does mean the car is probably not going to make it to Spocom, which means this video will be up. So if you guys are watching this, probably at Spocom already, because I'm going to be able to upload this tonight and today when you guys are watching it, and everything will be ready to go. So I'll be at Spocom. The car will probably still be in the garage. My goal just today is to get as much done as I can to pull the motor out, and then worry about within my next week getting the motor back in, so the motor's back in before my roommate comes home, I think on like Tuesday or Wednesday. So still got some stuff to do. I'm gonna try to knock out what I can. It's a little bit hard just being myself. Last time I had a buddy over and it took about 12 hours total. We did split them on like 3 hours or 4 hours a day among like a couple weeks, so I didn't get burnt out. This, I'm just trying to push through it, and I'm tending to get burnt out. I don't enjoy working on cars more by myself. I like it when people come over and hang out. They don't have to wrench, but you know, just hanging out is kind of awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this done, and I'll catch up with you guys and let you know how everything's going.